Oh, I spoiled it. That's okay. I also love that it assigned it keywords that we're going to go through. So at the top. Oh shit. All right. Let me know when we're on Twitch and I'll get levels here. Oh, I see we're on YouTube.
Yeah, we just went live to YouTube and we're live on Twitch when the delay catches up.
Oh my god. Don't forget to put yourself on studio. If you're me.
I should be on studio. Do I sound like I'm on studio?
Oh.
Blurb. Right, I'm on studio now. Alright, that sounds way better, I'm sure. La-di-da-di-da.
I have questions, but I'll save them for the show.
Okay. I think we sound good. TJ, can you talk
about what this otter thing is actually doing?
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm speaking with words and
okay.
Totally.
All right, we sound good.
Yeah, we do.
Oh. Yeah, baby.
You sound the best.
How
does this sound?
I just want to make sure my levels are on my microphone are set correctly. Yeah, that's what I go with. Okay. All right. So thanks for the farts, TJ. How's life? I guess we can save it for the podcast, huh?
Yeah, we'll save it for the podcast.
I've switched to video on.
See, there's like lots of episodes, Freya. There's. Yeah, well, we should go to the beginning, and you can start watching from the beginning, and everything will make sense.
TJ's talking to us right now.
TJ's parenting.
I have a thing.
It'll be all the same ones,
now, Matt.
All the ones I've already seen.
I have a thing to parent now,
and this will just go.
I saw that Lauren posted that picture of the dog bed on Facebook, and someone was like, "Are you pregnant?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, that was.
It's very clearly for a dog.
I don't remember who that was too, because I remember seeing that and be like, "Are you fucking? What? Like, are you stupid? Like, it's a dog bed with a dog toy,
a baby toy."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, rattles are not that far off from dog.
Did you want your phone?
But
okay, I'm gonna toss it on.
If anything, a dog toy has to be more sturdy.
I know, but then you'll know where it is.
Better construction.
Oh yeah, I have no clue the hell this is. It's probably maybe an older person. No, it's a clueless person. I posted pictures of Judy on Facebook. Oh fuck, my eyes itch.
What's your dog's name?
Judy.
Mm-hmm. What's she named after?
Just because we wanted a lady name.
Because you like person names for pets?
Yeah.
All right.
She's
named for Dame Judi Dench.
Yep, exactly. She's a good girl so far. She really likes her toy. And we got Darth Vader themed dog bowls because they were on clearance. And they were big. So we were like, all right. Like, they work. So. Uh-oh. I'm being approached. Lauren, what's wrong? You're going to the bathroom? You can't do that. You can't leave Judy alone. Can you shut the door? I was leaving the door open for the cats because I'm sure they need. They need because the litter box is in the computer room here. But now I'm gonna shut it because we're gonna record. So okay.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 36. I'm your host John Rowe. I'm joined by my co-host Adam Ham and our guest for another week in a row, Lance Kilcoin. Or sorry,
no.
So read it as it says.
Read it correctly.
Sorry, Lance GoCoin.
Okay. No, let's get started. We'll get into that. All right. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 316. Austin 316 episode. I just thought of that. I'm your host, John Danger Rowe, and joined by my co-hosts.
Matt Haig. No middle name required.
And TJ May. What is my middle name anyway?
I don't know.
Your middle name is of.
T. Well, I'm assuming it's J. James.
You haven't done this game with me before? This is my favorite game to do with new people.
I feel like I have done this game, but it's been so long because I only ever call you TJ or TJ May.
Yep, that's the right way. It's not James.
Well, I know your first name is Thomas.
That is correct.
Jeremiah.
No.
Jonah.
Jeremy.
No.
Oh, is this something really
Not
weird?
No, it's a pretty standard middle name.
Oh, okay. Jonah?
No.
No, I did that one.
Okay. This game is going to go on forever. Can we get a hint?
Jimothy.
Well, it is a Jimothy.
It's definitely not Jimothy.
It's not Jimothy. You guys missed one of the more weird, but like well, one of the ones that's mostly told to me as we play this game. Which isn't as common, but people always say it. So let's see. How would I give a hint without making this game less fun? It's not Jane.
Is it Jonathan?
Thomas Jane.
It is a very standard male name. My middle name is a very standard middle name.
Jack.
John.
I guess the second hint is that you guys made an improper assumption to start this.
Oh. It's not a J.
It is not a J.
Okay. Alan.
No.
Bill.
Yeah, it's William.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you have a really fucking, like... You could be like a royal person with that name. And wait, so your name is Thomas William May?
Yep. And you're almost done with it.
Junior.
Yes,
now,
there it is.
There's the TJ. Now the
Okay.
I'm gonna blow your mind here, and I'm gonna ruin all of my secondary verification or like my secret questions. But my father is Thomas William as well. So you're my dad, TJ.
I'm everyone's dad. I'm the internet's dad.
Yeah.
I'm
are
always
the
father
father
figure in most internet groups end up being in.
Wow.
Because I try to take a very positive parental role. But regardless of that, my name is literally just they copy and pasted my dad's name, tacked on Junior at the end.
Nice.
I've got no different middle name, nothing. I'm the epitome of lazy.
I mean,
so your dad's name is T.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a good joke. I think it was a good joke. Anybody else think it was a good joke? I think so.
I think you know, the audience can decide.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Are you guys on Twitch?
Like, comment, and subscribe.
We should be.
I'm not right now.
I was about to say I'm not on the chat either. So apparently.
Oh
Matt's
yeah, I'm on the chat.
zombies,
Nobody's here.
And stuff. It says. Oh wait.
Killing zombies. What were you streaming?
Yeah. What the hell were you streaming?
On No More in Hell. That might work on my new computer.
Wait, you're streaming that?
Maybe like almost a year ago.
I wish that. Oh.
Wait, you're streaming on I Make Noise.
Yeah, you're on a different channel.
Oh.
You're not doing this on Mad Hack Music.
Let's start this show over.
No. We cannot do that.
No, you're perfectly fine. We're in the important spots right now. We're recording in the right spot.
It doesn't matter. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm
right
switching
now, so
Twitch channels, but you pull from the YouTube anyway, so you'll be
I was about to say the YouTube one's right, and that's the one I pull from anyway, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should just fucking remove that channel.
Why do you have two different Twitch accounts?
Because one was going to be his musical brand, and one was going to be him, and then he just is doing everything for Mad Hack Music now.
Yeah, is one of these your secret Russian like channel, like a bot? Speaking of bots.
Hey, transition.
I'm very disappointed at my loss of followers on YouTube.
You lost followers on YouTube?
Or on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I got to pour one out. I didn't realize. I thought I had been purged of all my fake accounts, but I had not, and I lost another 200. So
You're at what 460 now?
No, I was at 460. I'm at like 260 now. I was at 2,500 at my high point of.
I'm at 58.
And again, I will say this and reiterate again. I purchased followers for myself on
Yes.
the podcast. I'm going to be open with that.
It was a great episode.
Because it was a goof. Because we're talking about how stupid followers are on Twitter, and how
Wasn't that when Lance dropped Twitter the first time?
No, so yeah, I bought Lance like 2,000 followers as well, and then he just dumped Twitter at like 3 months later.
Yeah,
it was like I could have
wasted your investment.
Well, I was gonna put him on Mercury, formerly Tyler. Mercury was going to and not tell him, so he would just see the jump. And then I thought that would be kind of a mean thing to do to him. I knew I could do it to Lance, and Lance wouldn't care. And he didn't even notice until I told him, so it really worked out. Whereas I thought Mercury would maybe get like sad that I like faked him out. Like it's like that. I don't know if you remember that. Improv Everywhere or Improv Anywhere.
Yeah, when they show up to that band's show.
Yes, they show up to that band show and like pretended to be fans and like went on their like MySpace and learned all their songs and like we're like, hey, we're singing along, and they're like, this is the best, and it was like best gig ever is what they wanted to call it. And then like the band was pretty split over it, like on whether or not they liked it, because it's kind of like one of those things.
It's
like,
one of those things where it's great when it's happening, but then when it's over, and it's like, oh, that was just like a one-time thing, I guess.
Yeah. It's I mean, I see both sides of that, because you had a great time. I think you got these strangers to interact with your music at a level that they weren't going to ever. You know what I mean? Is people never would have listened to you anyway. Got to experience the show, have a good time. You had a good time, and that's it. There's a little deception there, of course, but I mean, I don't know how different it is of just people showing up anyway. I don't know if they were lying, because they came to the show and sang along and had a time, and I don't know, but yeah. So I didn't want to do that to Mercury, so I chose not to. Can I call him MS?
I think so.
Mercury Stardust?
I think that's fine.
All right.
Lance has more followers than me.
Yeah, well, Lance is also probably like on gay Twitter and like sharing like selfies and whatnot.
He is.
So
I haven't checked
he's a social
Instagram for a
butterfly.
while, but like when I was looking at it regularly, he posts like 15 Instagram pictures a day. It's insane. It's like my feed all of a sudden was like entirely Lance.
I mean, I guess I understand, like, with Lance. I mean, it makes sense because he posts a lot on Twitter. Like, I don't think you post quite as much as he does.
No,
so
I'm mostly retweeting like.
I mean, like
subscribe and follow.
He does
I'm
have
still
really
coasting
bad.
from back when I was like following, like doing a bunch of mutual follow back stuff with other musicians on Twitter. And then also
he is following about 7 times what I am too.
Yeah. He is following more accounts than I am, even. What's your self-worth, Matt? Are you followed more than me?
920.
Oh yeah.
I'm
You're
following
the
75.
What? This is Matt's show now. Sorry.
No, like I said, this is just from like I went through a long phase a few years ago. I would just like find people that were following musicians that I liked and follow them, and then if they followed me back, talk to them and
this
stuff.
is
And
this
also
is brutal.
What?
It's just brutal. You're only following 75 accounts, and you only have 19 tweets. Oh, because he
keeps purging them.
Yeah. I also get targeted by a lot of people like trying to sell me promotion
I get
services
those
and
too.
stuff.
Twitter's
like,
Twitter's a
This
mistake.
is number one thing for musicians on Twitter. Buy it here.
Yeah,
We'll
I only
show
get
your
it from the
song to...
from
Like-
the podcast, whatever. But I have overlap with the game devs community a little bit, not a lot, but here and there.
Like I get followed by like random like people. Yeah, like there's this. I just got followed by Chanello's Pizza, which is a Virginia pizza place, because I have Virginia as where I'm from, and I tweeted about
that's right.
pizza. So I'm
That's
sure.
fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so crazy. Like
You should call and see if they deliver here.
like here's my problem is I'm too nice because like I follow a lot of people, and then they follow back, and then I cannot unfollow them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I will forever have following more people that are following me because I feel bad, like unfollowing
You're just
people.
guilt following everybody.
Well, if I get a follow back, I feel like it's fucking not nice to unfollow. You know, like you follow me, I follow you. That's how it works. You know.
Yeah. Well, eventually I just kind of like looked at people's profiles, and
Yeah.
anybody that hadn't posted in several months, I just got rid of them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's kind of now I'm just to the
That's
point
fair
where I
enough.
just don't pay any attention to it. It's like not worth
That's
any
probably
time
a good way to do it.
to do like Twitter follower maintenance.
Yeah. No, I
So
actually
Elon
did
Musk
that
is kind of a
recently, too.
dick, huh?
Ah. I love that my tweet about that too, because I was just like, oh man, as soon as I saw that I was like, duh. Oh my god. Yeah.
Well,
so,
yeah, and he's been having like a Twitter feud with the diver that rescued all those kids. It's like you
oh
can't,
really?
yeah, because I guess he gave an interview where he said that Elon's sub rescue idea was like a dumb PR stunt.
Yeah, which it was. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
To be fair to Elon, I'm sure he wanted to help in any way he could, but also this benefited his company. So
Also,
it works as a PR stunt.
in response to that, he called the diver a pedophile on Twitter. The man that saved like 13 people trapped in a cave. Yeah,
I love
that's not
that.
a good look.
I do love that he is he's on damage control mode right now because a lot of stuff happened. He also said thank you for he has a pinned tweet from the Sierra Club from 23 hours ago, so he's definitely like trying to point people to this, and I gotta give him credit on this. He's the Sierra Club, which is a national climate change and conservation society. There's got to be a better topic of debate than whether or not Elon Musk is committed to climate action. He's dedicated his career to the mission of replacing fossil fuels with clean energy and has strongly backed the Sierra Club's advocacy work. We're proud to have his support. I mean, to be fair, the guy is fucking all about electric cars and solar power and batteries. So, I mean, you got to give a guy credit in somewhere. He's trying here. You know what I mean? But he's also a business guy who donated to Republicans during the election. Because, and it's so stupid because he's saying reports I'm a top donor to the GOP are categorically false. I'm not a top donor to any political party, which is a dumb statement anyway. So you have no stances, you know, like, okay, like you're not going to pick a side, but you're also going to say you're not on one side. So what does that say? But anyway, businessmen do this all the time because it's pay to play. Like,
Yeah.
If they want something done, no matter who, so he actually gave $40,000 to both a Democrat PAC and a Republican PAC because whoever wins, then he can say, I donated your campaign. You have to listen to me. You know what I mean? And I understand like that it's business in his mind. You know what I mean? But it doesn't look like that. It doesn't feel in the way politics is gone. So you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, he's had a rough weekend. Because is he fixing his thing to the Flint water crisis thing he was talking about too. So we'll see how that ends up. Somebody basically was like,
I think
hey,
he just donated some money or something to that.
He actually specifically tweeted saying, if you live in Flint and you can't drink your water, DM me and I will send a crew out to your house and pay for them to replace all the pipes. So I mean if he's doing that, that's a really direct way to help people specifically. So but I think the problem with, and this is a problem that we didn't get into the ArenaNet thing, but like when you work as a business person, Twitter becomes personal because everyone who's not a brand uses Twitter as their personal account. So anything said on Twitter just feels like person to person. And so when you're doing things like trying to send a child submarine to help and that isn't needed, people will think, oh, you're just doing that because it makes your company look better, not because you want that as a person. So it's just kind of like a thing where it's like you just got he's a very outspoken guy, You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I never. People, nerd boys really evangelize this guy. And it's like, dude's a billionaire. So,
Yeah.
he's working on a different level. In terms
People
of politics.
people like to say like he's like the real life Tony Stark, and it's like, yeah, Tony Stark's an asshole. Like he's kind of who's the guy? He's an Edison like figure almost.
Yeah. Did you forget the Stark Industries was built on selling arms to the U.S. during like the Iraq and Afghanistan war? Like, they made bombs. They're a weapons manufacturer. Like, you know what I mean? They probably support the NRA. You know, it's like Tony's kind of a dick. You know, which is why I like him, because in comics, it's fun that he's a dick. But in real life, I probably hate him.
He deleted the tweet where he called the diver a pedo. He said, "Sorry, pedo guy, you really did ask for it," or something.
Oh my God, dude.
But that's gone now, and I don't know what the conversation before that was, but it was some kind of feud.
Yeah, I'm sure the guy had probably a profile picture or something of him with like a kid.
Yeah,
and it was probably like a nephew. I don't know. He probably was like late night. Hey, Elon, maybe put the phone down. You know, like, don't argue with a person who heroically saved some children. You're never gonna look good, even if you think you're right. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't work. It's a PR.
The only way you could do something like that is to be like, I think my solution would have worked, but I'm glad that yours worked.
Exactly.
I just care about the children.
We'll agree to disagree. I thought this would work, you know, but you guys got a different way that worked. All the children survived, you know, like, it worked out. Like, no problem. There's no reason to argue about it now. Like, anyway.
So there's a trending hashtag called old password hints, and I feel like that's kind of just like a massive phishing scheme. Like somebody's just going to scrape all this data and then compare it to another set of data where they have these hints and they'll be able to match accounts to people.
Oh, I could talk about a couple other Twitter tricks as well that I learned if you want to boost your follower count, everyone. I actually learned a couple of these from Jake Paul, so I mean, dude's good at getting followers, so
fair enough.
And it was actually interesting because I can't remember, it was on Huffington Post or something, but they actually paid for and like watched all of his like social media like how-to guide like course that he created, like the class, and they were like, dude's a dweeb and a loser, but boy is he good at social media, because like he had all these like tips and tricks. One big thing to do, and this is something I've done with the Born in the 80s account, is find creators that are similar and mass follow all of their followers, and then go back a couple weeks later and unfollow anyone that doesn't follow back.
That's what I was doing with the music stuff, and there's a tool I was using. I think it's called like Crowdfire now, but that made it.
My dog peed and pooped outside. Sorry.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes.
Outside, outside, or just outside of your room?
Outside. She did it correctly.
Well, that's good. That doesn't really seem newsworthy, though. But
I'm just saying she popped into the room literally to say that, so I didn't hear what you were saying. Can you go back like 2 seconds?
I was doing that same thing where you find a creator that's similar to you when I was like actively trying to promote music on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I was using a tool that I think is called Crowdfire now. I don't know. They changed their name a couple of different times.
I really should do it for the podcast Twitter account.
Yeah, it was super easy, and it's as long as you're legitimately trying to find people that you think would be interested in your stuff.
The whole point is,
and you're like not automating it. You're like actually talking to the people that follow you back. I feel like that's kind of okay.
Yeah. The point is that it's like, I'm trying to, you're interested in this thing. I think you'd like my podcast. I'm just going to follow you, and you can choose whether or not to actually, you know, look at my counter follow. So, and for a while there, I was on the Born in the 80s Twitter account trying to social media manage it, and it's hard.
Yeah, and it's just,
you gotta be at it every day.
It can be such a time sink where like you realize you're not even working on the thing you're promoting anymore because you're spending so much time promoting it.
Yeah,
So
I
if
think
I
I'm gonna
ever
try and.
when I get back to making like proper YouTube videos, I'll probably get more into trying to do some social media stuff. But
Yeah, I'm gonna try and utilize the Born in the '80s Twitter account more now. I'm thinking about it like it's a way to get us out there a little bit more. Maybe I'm gonna tweet on that account.
I know there's a way to have multiple accounts logged in.
Yeah, I have that on
the app, but
I can just switch between them. Yeah.
I mean, because I should post on the Born in the '80s stuff too and help you out with that as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, heck, I don't know how that works.
oh yeah,
Because
can
it
you
might
do that?
kick you out from the device.
Can you have somebody just as like a manager, like
No, 'cause
manager
you can,
positions or
'cause
something like you?
I can be logged in on my phone, on a tablet, and on the website at the same time.
That's true.
So it shouldn't be an issue.
That's true.
All right, let's see. I'll just log in on TweetDeck, and
I will change the password and
just log it. Tell me the
send you the
login
info.
information right now out loud.
yeah,
on
I'll
the
say it out
podcast.
loud. Okay.
And the new
it's,
password is going to be
it's
where is
1,
all
2,
the beef?
3 password 3, 2, 1. I mean, that's actually not impossible to crack, but
Password is a great game show.
so no, what was I gonna say? Yeah. And what was the other thing I did? Oh, one other thing that Jake Paul said is on different accounts. This is actually it's fucking genius, by the way. Different accounts, you can if you're not verified, use tricks to make it look like you're verified.
Yeah,
So if you look at my Twitter account now,
I think you've mentioned this before.
I had
That's
a
why you've got
snowflake for a
that like
while.
silly little thing.
It is now a little meteorology hurricane symbol, which looks a lot like the verified check mark. And so that's just in there.
But I question
because
how much that check mark actually matters. Do you think people are
I will
like,
tell you it matters
"Oh,
more than
because
you think."
It's more than you think. I was following Chance the Rapper, and he tweeted something, and I saw that he can continue the conversation, so I opened it, and there was another person, the exact same profile picture, the same name, and they were tweeting about some giveaway, and I clicked on their profile, and it was a different account, and I was totally fooled by the symbol that I'm using right now, because I thought it was the verified checkmark, and I thought like, oh, what is he doing a giveaway? Because I know Chance is very much a philanthropist. He gives a lot of money away and stuff. So for the Chicago areas, I was like, oh, maybe he's doing like a contest or something to like raise money. And it's just a fucking account. And I reported the account, and it was, I believe it was deleted because it was just, trying to like trick people into following him. I'm not impersonating anyone. I'm just
but
have a little
like that
symbol
got you to click it, but it didn't like, I don't know. It didn't do anything.
I'm just saying,
beyond that.
Again, this is how social media works, and this is like the Jake Paul like knowledge. The click is what you need.
The Jake Paul.
Because if you can just increase clicks by 1%, like that's just enough to boost you. So, yeah. So I would. That's one thing. The other thing is, and Twitter doesn't do this. YouTube does this though. I think for like partners or something. Or I don't remember. I don't remember what social media it is. But on your banner, like what he would do was he would have the banner have a little checkmark image in it next to his face, so it looked like it was an official account, because the image on the profile page looked like the checkmark because it had the like on the it's like it's ingenious though, because it's so stupid how like people give a fucking shit about that checkmark, like, and it does not mean anything. You know what I mean? And especially because they just verify all these fucking white supremacists all the time anyway. So
yeah. So what you're saying is we should all become white supremacists, and then we'll get verified. Yeah,
Twitter
that's
verified.
how you social media.
Now, John, didn't you try to get verified on a previous podcast of ours?
I
Yourself,
did. It
your
did
own
not
account.
work. Did not work.
But maybe we should try to get our.
We need more
just the podcast.
followers. We need more followers. They're not going to do it under like a certain threshold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call out Spanky though. Where's the follow back on your podcast?
I got the follow back. What are you talking about?
I didn't get follow back. This fucking disappointment is what it is. I'm gonna unfollow and follow again so they get a notification.
Yeah.
Give me that follow back, goddammit. What else is there?
Because I ain't no follow back, girl.
Yeah, I'm just like I've been like going through my Twitter account too and just trying to like purge. And that's a good idea. I should actually look at the accounts and see, because if I'm following back on someone who's not tweeting, for like the last 6 months. What's the point? It's just adding to my follower count because that rate people give a shit about that ratio too. You know, that's so dumb.
I just like the following to follows ratio. I mean, that's the big one.
That's the big one. That's what I'm saying. Like if I'm following 900 accounts and I have only 200 followers, I look like a scrub. But if
why
I
is
like
their
Matt,
podcast following big stuff? Like that's not going to help them.
what? No.
No, I'm looking at Wildaway's following right now.
Is this our free social media advice?
Yes, I'm looking at they're like following Star Wars. They're following the Daily Show. Well, Stephen Colbert kind of makes sense. Hamill himself, Oprah Winfrey, Bo Burnham, Hank Green, John Green, Neil deGrasse Tyson. We Rate Dogs.
I want to tell you about Bo Burnham. Is that
Bo Burnham?
I have he was a like Viner and like YouTuber and stand-up comedian. And he kind of like does music and stuff. He like makes songs. But he recently put out the movie 8th Grade, which is supposedly really good. And like he's very talented. He directed and wrote it. So obviously the guy's fucking like a talented director and writer because it's got like rave reviews. But I disliked his humor a little bit because early on he was very like crude. He was like, I'm gonna say penis in a song, like that was his thing, you know. So it was like, because he was like 18, like 17, 18 when he started. So you know, and then he actually talks about like how he's like, man, I wish that I could erase all that stuff because
he's got 1.75 million followers.
Yeah. So anyway, to get back to me and Bo Burnham, and it's so hard, is that I have purposely mispronounced his name a lot because I think it's funny. I call him Bob Yurnham, and every time I want to say his name, I want to say Bob Yurnham because I've done it so much. I've trained myself into saying it wrong, so I'm always just like have to stop myself from saying Bob Yurnham. Anyway, so yeah, I gotta see if I should follow some of these accounts because I found some really good accounts that don't tweet as much, and it's like gotta get that following count down. Plus, it removes a lot of the flack too if it's like dumb accounts I don't care about.
Oh, there it is. I got scared for a second because I'm like, wait, While Away is following Ewan, but not Spanky. No, I found Spanky's hiding halfway through.
Are you just sneaking through, huh?
It means Ewan did the account. Ewan, we miss you. Wonder how you're doing.
Yeah, it's been a while
I'll
since
just ask.
to that small boy.
Canadian boy.
Canadian boy. Ooh. There's a podcast network that follows me. You know what my favorite I'm proud of a follow back though. What's your proudest follow back? Your follower. My proudest follower is the ex-president Barack Obama is following me.
Nice.
He is following, I think, 200,000 accounts. So,
but still,
yeah,
he could easily be following 2.5 million.
He could be, but he's not.
And
so
he's following 200,000.
I'm one of like the 10% he is following. So
exactly.
I don't know why.
Matt's probably peeing.
He's been peeing a while. So
I don't see his picture because my internet. But see who is following me back, or just
it looks like I
all.
have a fake follower still on here. So
yeah, that's gonna happen.
No, it's not. Because I'm following them. But they haven't tweeted anything, so I'm gonna unfollow them. I'm sure
your wife is following me.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
It's so crazy that Barack Obama follows me back. I don't know why. Maybe he's following 2 million people now. Let's see. No, he's actually following 600,000 out of 100 or million or however many he has. So, like, it's fine.
Well, my favorite joke follow back is from the quote official Mario and Luigi Twitter account.
Oh, is that the fake Mario and Luigi Twitter I have?
Yeah, that's
yours.
yours.
It's the official one.
But I'm like going through now, and I'm like, okay, I gotta unfollow some of these people that haven't tweeted in like a million years because, yeah, this person has tweeted since 2016. Unfollow. And now I understand why I got these. Is because on Reset Era, there's a bunch of like those Nintendo mobile games. I put my name in and it linked from Twitter accounts
Okay.
to like be friends in the game. So I think I'm just a bunch of people that just have a Twitter account to link to things. So I can unfollow them because they're likely not reading anything I follow anyway.
I would say that the three biggest well, not even biggest, but the three I'm most proud of. One is, I'm gonna say technically a coworker. It's Cole Watson from GameStop TV, but he's also just a regular GameStop person at a GameStop in Tennessee. He's followed me back on Twitter, but I'm also kind of active on his Discord. Another one is a channel I'm a big fan of, and I still want people to continue following, even though they're currently in hiatus. They are working on getting some more content out there, and that's the Bad Acapella Orchestra at Bad Acapella. There's some great stuff on there, especially if you like anime and video game music. They have, it's so bad it's good that it's bad again, and also good. And then the last one goes way back because I followed him back before his brand was huge. And that's Roger's Base, Roger DeLuigi, who was one of the other contract people that, like me, that did that 2-month stint for working for Nintendo, just doing some brand ambassador stuff at retail stores. From there, he was part of Maker Studios for a while until Maker Studios just basically got rid of everybody. He is a big guy in the anime scene, especially One Piece, My Hero a little bit. He still does brand ambassador stuff with Nintendo of America, who gave him a Switch, and he's been getting games upon games, and like pre-release visits to be able to play stuff early. And he's been now sponsored by Alienware and Dell recently, and he's gone to, I think he went to the, what was the big Infinity War? He got to go to the Infinity War launch night, red carpet. He's been getting a lot of those things as well.
You're also followed by me, which is like pretty impressive. So,
oh, God, I just unfollowed Gary Shandling. I guess he's not going to tweet anymore. So,
well, you don't know that.
It's true. You're right.
It depends if his account was managed.
Let's
or not.
all just follow Randy Quaid. I had to unfollow him because it got too crazy.
Yeah, I get that.
Does Tupac have a Twitter? Is it still active?
Probably.
I don't know.
He's hanging out in Costa Rica.
Is there a verified
tweeting.
Tupac Shakur? I'm pronouncing his last name wrong, but is there a verified Tupac Shakur that is actually active?
Oh, what the fuck, man?
It's a hologram.
There it is. Yeah, at Tupac, the official Twitter Tupac, managed and operated by the estate.
Nice, guys.
What would an estate have to tweet about?
I don't know. Let me peek at it.
Oh, upcoming like re-releases and whatnot, because there's still people making money off of that.
Oh yeah, a whole bunch.
But then like, I don't know why you would follow that. I guess if you're a huge Tupac fan and you want to see like old interviews and shit.
Yeah.
I should specify because you can't read this on my screen. When I said at Tupac, it's at the number 2 Pac, P-A-C. Last tweet was on June 29th.
All right.
It seems to tweet about like once every week or two.
Gosh, we're just Twitter people. We know everything about Twitter.
Yeah. Also, everybody delete Twitter. It's garbage, and
it
don't go on it anymore.
Nightmare.
It's
and before you do that,
shit.
Delete the app. Don't delete the account, and follow us first.
That's true. Leave the account.
That is true.
Leave us a follow.
I think if we take over Twitter, we can make it better. One could even say we could make it great again, but we need to execute a coup first to take over. So
okay, I know some Russian hackers that will help us out.
All right.
Don't quote me on that. I think we need to have a meeting in a couple hotels. We got this.
Let's bring in Guccifer 3.0.
Yes. Oh my God. Let's not talk about that. I don't want to. I don't want to get brought down. I mean, maybe it's a hopeful thing. But anyway, I need to stop going through my Twitter. Let's.
One real
Let's
Twitter tip is to unfollow anybody who makes a living off of like stoking flames of outrage.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or even if they don't make a living off it, like, I don't know, I had to unfollow certain celebrities just because, like, I can't be that angry all the time. And literally all you post about is stuff that should make me angry.
Yeah. Speaking of, let me just continue my Will Wheaton beef that exists.
Will Beefton.
Don't like him.
It's the Will Wheaton song.
I'm just looking up a tweet here. Okay, so sorry. Will Wheaton here. Let's see here. He tweeted in the 20. Wait. I want to read the first one first here. Great work, Bernie Bros. Glad you didn't think there was a meaningful difference between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Bravo, guys. He tweeted. All right. Yep.
Cool.
He also tweeted.
I mean, that's a really constructive comment.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah. Well, anyway, he also tweeted, will this account mocks fascist Wheaton? God, he is so fucking hard for himself. I'm shocked. Here's another tweet. I'm shocked, and I'm sure you'll understand that before I'm ready to make a public statement about my best friend to 3 million plus people, I need some time to process what's going on, put words to my thoughts. Thanks for listening and understanding. Of course, he's talking about Chris Hardwick, I'm sure a friend of his who was accused by a former girlfriend of sexual assault and mental
being a super like emotionally abusive douchebag.
Yeah, basically. And of course, so he can lash out about Bernie Bros and whatnot and make a stupid statement, but when it's about this guy who I'm sure he makes money with, he's got to be like,
well, it might affect his brand.
I gotta have a PR statement about this. Yeah, exactly. I don't think. I also want to make it clear that I don't hate Will Wheaton. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I say that, but I just like to make fun of him because he's
he's just one of those people that same deal with like Elon Musk, where people just put him on this like god pedestal.
Yeah,
and the higher people elevate people like that, the more tempting it is to try and just like knock them down a peg. So I get that.
Yeah. Well, and like people like Will Wheaton are also, you know, a little older, and they're on social media, and they've got their own brand, you know. So it's just it doesn't feel genuine, I guess, you know, when you have someone like that who's very much their own public image brand as well, because they're just like, you know. I liked his voice narration of the Ready Player One book, though. He did a really good job with that. I'll give him that. I think I said that, too. So, I mean, the guy's not incapable of good work. I just think that he's like one of those people that's like monetizing his nerdiness, and it feels not as genuine to me, I guess.
Yeah,
you know?
I get that. And
that's a little gatekeepery as well, and that's something nerds do a lot, you know, but... and looking at him when he was in Next Generation... It's just
when nerdiness becomes a brand, it gets a little bit like skeevy to me.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're so nerdy because I read the Lord of the Rings book once. It's like, okay, but come on. Like, are you in sweatpants fucking waiting in front of the GameStop to open so you can buy the new fucking Pokemon card draws and get your fucking packs? Like that's
it's
the
not
nerds.
Even like it's not even like I'm just like, oh, you're not a real nerd. It's just like when people put wrap too much of their identity into that label, into like any single label, it just kind of annoys me.
Yeah. Again, I'm not saying he's a bad person or anything, but you know, he's just...
I am. Come at me, Will Wheaton.
Let's put the feud on here at Will Wheaton, man.
Hashtag man. Twitter beef.
Oh my god.
Elon Musk versus the diver that saved a bunch of children. Matt versus Will Wheaton.
If I remember too, he also had me blocked because he had a thing that was auto blocking people that followed certain accounts. and I was following my favorite Twitter guy, Charlie Kirk, founder of the Turning Point USA, which is the professional college student gaslighting company. And I followed him for the lulz because I like to quote tweet him and say dumb shit about him, about how like he's like 40 and he's hanging out with all these 20-year-olds. But anyway, that it was like an auto block, which is such a dumb thing to have on Twitter. Like, anyway.
Yeah.
He's
this is weird.
He's just a it's just a little. He's a strong.
He's
strong
just
Twitter
like
account.
us.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's enough. There's enough Twitter beefing. We've got enough beef on the plates. Nerd! Exactly. All right. We actually were all pretty engaged on that one. That's pretty good.
That's good.
TJ,
Yeah,
you
it's
ready to
also
talk
really
about
good in the
your-
middle of the podcast to talk about, like comment on the podcast that's happening.
Well, okay.
really
I
good.
just want to say this because I've been actively listening to the podcast. I listen every week when I edit, and I know I talk way too much, and I want to give you guys more time to talk. So I'm just like I'm a person who likes to railroad conversations, and I know this, and I try and back off because I want you guys to be equal parts of the show. So
I'm also behind. I'm behind on the podcast about 3 or 4 episodes right now.
Well, they've gotten shorter lately, so
Oh yeah, that's my fault.
about an hour and a half.
Well, I can talk about my big development for the week.
All right,
it's pretty
that's good.
important. I like
Get
on a
the one
national
thing that
scale.
happened to Matt out of the way.
So like, I don't know. I might be the first person to have discovered this, but
Yeah.
did you guys know that there are some games where playing with a controller is a lot better than playing with a keyboard and mouse?
No.
Yeah,
I know,
not like we had
it's
a
crazy,
20-minute
right?
diatribe
It sounds
mouse-
crazy, but trust me, it's true.
The mouse is the greatest.
especially
Get
if you're
this
mouse
shit-
only.
Get this shit out of here. Nobody wants a Nintendo controller.
No, yeah. So I finally
believe I
got
bought this.
my Xbox controller to play Snake Pass and exclusively to play Snake Pass.
Well, there's plenty
And it
other
does
games,
make a
Matt,
big
that it'll work
difference.
with. Yeah.
It's like I mean, it I'm not saying anything that nobody that's listening doesn't already know, but like the way that a game is designed, sometimes that like analog style control where you have like a finer control over various movements and things makes a huge
Well,
huge
like the idea
difference.
with like a stick is you can just turn it a little bit with the analog
Yeah.
stick and you get a little movement. When you're using the keypad on
It's either
the
on
number
or off.
keys, it's on or
And
off.
it
So
just
it's not-
like feels a lot better to play it like
Yeah.
that. I don't even know if it's like actually controlling better, but it feels more like
Yeah.
how the game was meant to be played.
That's like the
Controllers.
difference between Super Mario 64 and Super Mario 64 DS.
yeah.
I mean, while there was technically analog ways to play that game, it was not fun because you use a touchscreen for that.
Yeah. Well, Matt, another game you could play with a controller.
Yeah. What's that?
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight.
I
Do
bought.
I have?
Hollow
I think
Knight.
I have that. I think that was
You
one of the
might.
Twitch giveaways.
It could.
Can I
be.
play Fortnite with a controller?
You could. I wouldn't. Not
do.
Not if you don't have to.
Can I hybrid it so I can still use my like number keys to switch stuff, but I can aim with a controller, and then I'll put an aimbot on my computer.
Hell yeah! Get them kills. Own those noobs. I spelled it wrong. I spelled Hollow Knight wrong. No, I've been playing Hollow Knight. It's a game
Play
that
on-
came out.
Playing on the Switch?
Yeah, I got it on the Switch. It came out on Steam. I'm trying to look at the dates here.
Last year, right?
No, last February. And then a couple months ago, in June, it launched on the Switch. And I just wanted it
yeah.
'cause
I remember
it's
seeing
a-
this. It's very pretty.
Yes, it is
How
gorgeous.
does it play?
Like, a lot
Is
of-
it like Meat Boy-esque where it's like super difficult?
Yeah. Okay. So yes, this is good observations to have here. So like Meat Boy, it is definitely can be super difficult. A lot of people have likened it as to like a platformer, because it's like a Metroidvania where you get powers and to get to new areas and whatnot, and you get more stuff. So it's like a Metroidvania or like a Castlevania, yeah, which is like a Metroid or a Castlevania game. But it also can be very difficult to the tune of like a Dark Souls. People have compared it to, where it's very much about precise movement and attacks and very deadly enemies. So if you make mistakes, you can die very easily. You lose your money if you die and don't get back to where you were. So it can be punishing in that respect too. I have not gotten that far into it. I've just beaten the first boss. I did not die though to the first boss. So I was worried because people were saying how punishingly difficult it was, and I was like, I don't really want.
What's the combat? Like oh, it looks like you have like something that you slash.
You have a sword.
It's not like
it's called the nail.
Mario style
you're like
jump
a little
on
bug
their head
guy.
combat. Okay.
Yeah, you can do not jump on your head. No. You can, and it's called pogoing, which is a skill that is good to learn. Is where you attack downwards. You'll get a little jump boost, and you can like jump attack on someone's head constantly. Anyway, it's a very technical game, which is what I was saying. You probably would be best with a controller. The sound, but it is gorgeous. The soundtrack is great. It's $15, and it was $15 on the Switch as well. Like, I'm sure. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, Matt, but I'm just saying.
I think I already have it. I think it was one of the Twitch giveaways.
It could be.
Or
I don't know.
the Amazon Prime thing, like
one
of the first ones.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, it's a really cool game, and it is. I'm sure it gets more difficult. You know what I mean? But it didn't feel like I was worried it was going to be just insurmountably difficult, and like, I just don't want to be punishing. But it's kind of a game where. And I read kind of some hints and tips and tricks is very easy to get damaged even by basic enemies, and you can get comboed, if you're just not paying attention. But one of the keys is when you're fighting bosses is dodge first, attack second. Like try not to get hit.
Is it like a block key?
There's no blocking. It's all dodging. So you're just
that's usually my go-to. Just like fucking hold that block key down until I'm ready to attack.
No. But the idea is that you want to just kind of spend the time when you first encounter a boss to get their patterns down and learn at the moments that you have to strike, because they'll have moments like one of the first bosses, False Knight, is just a big old dude with a huge like hammer thing, and he swings it really fast. And you're like, man, is there enough time for me to get an attack? But like on some of the swings, he'll like get stuck in the ground a little bit, and you have a chance to get in and get a couple slashes. So it's kind of like the thing you just gotta like, okay, now's my opening. And you jump in and attack, and then you get back and dodge, and I found it actually pretty satisfying. But the animation is amazing. It is just a gorgeous game. The sound is incredible. The characters all have their own unique little voices, and it's like kind of like Simlish speak that they have. That's really fun.
Yeah.
And, I'm a huge fan. So far, again,
it definitely sounds like something I'd enjoy.
I think there's like 10 areas or something like that, or how many?
Let me open up.
So I haven't finished the one I'm in either. I just have defeated the boss in the Crossroads area. So there's plenty of other areas to go to, and I heard they all get more difficult. I also heard a horror story. I guess there's an area that's like the Underdark or something. I don't remember what it's called, but it's full of terrifying spiders, and there's no way to get out. You fall down like a giant hole, and it like traps you. Like the game can be punishing in that way.
Oh man, it looks like I do not have it on my Twitch thingy, so I guess
look out
you said it was like $15.
It's 15, but
I must have been looking at it to buy it at one point or something.
Yeah. I would recommend it if you like Meat Boy. It's like that. It's very technical and difficult. But unlike Meat Boy, it's not like, oh, you can just redo a room if you die. Like if you die, you go back to the last bench you saved on, and it could be like a couple minutes of backtracking. And the game is built around a map system. So there's a little map bug who's really fun. Actually, he sings a little jaunty tune when you get to the room that he's in. But you have to get the map from him to get maps of new areas. And then you can buy your own like map tools to be able to like fill in the map as you explore. So when you get into a new area, you're fucking just blind as to where you are, and you have to just kind of find him. So it can be really stressful, especially if you get really deep and then you just get to a spot where you just get, outplayed and killed and you lose everything. But also the money you get, it's like souls in Dark Souls. Like every enemy you kill, you get them. So really, honestly, if you lose a bunch, you can get it back in like an hour of running around in new areas and collecting. So it's not like the end of the world, but it could be very disheartening to lose a lot of progress if you get into a new area. So, but it's just so gorgeous to look at. Like it's like worth exploring. It gives you a good feeling, like when you get into a new area where you're just like, I gotta find everything, and it's all brand new, and I don't know. It's a good feeling. And it's cheap, and I don't know. I guess I might buy it on Steam too if it's ever on sale. Yeah, it cannot be said enough. The music is just like, it's like sad like cello and piano music, and it's just like rain sounds, and it's just very cool. Like,
yeah. So the only problem is I tend to get like frustrated quickly in games like that.
Yeah,
because I suck so bad.
That's why I was like, it's hard to recommend because I'm worried. I was worried myself, and I found to not have that problem, So
I'd probably just take it in small chunks. Like with Snake Pass, I'm just doing like one level per day because I'm getting all the stuff, and it's easy to get super frustrated with it.
Oh yeah, I've seen Snake Pass played, and if you just, screw up your movement and you just fall and you're like, God damn it, you have to start over again, and, from the checkpoints. And
the worst part is when you haven't fallen yet, but you're dead. Like you're just in a position where there's nowhere to go.
You just fall,
and you're just like slowly slipping.
Oh, yeah.
Just like being a real snake.
Yeah, I will just say it is stressful and difficult, but also the combat's really tight, so you feel like if you're engaged and doing well, you can do well. But it's only, and the reason why I bought it was I was worried about that, but I was like, it's $15. Like, it's so cheap. It's like, I'm sure I'll like it, But if you buy it on Steam, Matt, don't forget you have a Steam refund. So if you just play it for like an hour, and end up hating it, then you can just...
No, I can't imagine that I would hate it enough to have to return it, even if it was frustrating.
The other thing I've heard about the game too is that it also has a really slow start. And looking at some of those videos on the Steam page and the amount of abilities, I'm like 2 hours in, I have one ability. Like, I think that you get a lot more stuff like later on, but like in that first area is kind of more about teaching you to get the hang of the basics of your movement and combat with your main weapon. And then you can get all sorts of crazy like spells and powers and stuff like further on. So yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping back into that. All right, let's move on. I think before TJ talks about his stuff, I need to go get another drink and use the bathroom. So
okay,
if you guys want to just vamp for 30 seconds about, just talk about me or whatever, keep in mind I'll hear it when I edit. So I'll be right back.
No.
All right. So how about that John guy? He's the fucking worst.
What?
Yep.
Who's John?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I bet his middle name's not even Danger. I bet that's all a lie. You know who I like better than John? Will Wheaton and and Elon Musk, I guess, to keep calling back to that. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything you want to talk about before John's back? Anything?
I don't know. Have you been working on some music lately?
I have. I've been working on. I'm trying to kill this, but my audio program is a little bit slow. I've been working on a cover of Cyndi Lauper's "Time After Time" for like over 2 months now, and it's almost done. But like, I'm at the point now where I'm like trying to fix up the vocals and find the right amount of auto-tune to make them not sound like garbage, but also not make them sound like T-Pain. And I think I'm just gonna not do anything with vocals for a while because I'm not a very good singer. But after that, I'm gonna do a kind of a grunge rock cover of. Well, no. It's not grunge rock anymore. It turned out to be weirdly cyberpunky cover of the God of War theme. So that's gonna be fun.
Awesome. So what you're saying is you're not a singer, but you are a vocalist.
I'm trying. I'm getting better. It's just I'm so far away.
You definitely put words to music.
Yeah, I'm just not a very good one. But that's like when I was playing SteamWorld Dig and Snake Pass and stuff, what I'll do is I'll have a track on loop in the background and I'll just be practicing singing for like hours and hours when I'm playing that game. That's how I can play a game without feeling like I'm being lazy or I don't know. I get weird about having expectations for how I use my time, and I feel a lot of guilt if I don't do stuff. But
yeah,
the right game that doesn't require like a huge amount of focus is actually pretty good because it engages a certain part of your brain and leaves the other part open to do the singing stuff. And I don't know, there's all kinds of like possible studies on that. I don't know. There's like, I've heard stuff where a little bit of distraction can be helpful for learning. And hopefully that's true because otherwise like I just get bored and I don't do it.
Yeah. I had something I wanted to go with and now I'm completely missed. Oh yeah. Time After Time is such a song that could be definitely reinterpreted in so many different styles. Which direction did you decide to go with it?
It's kind of, I don't know, what do I say? It's kind of like a 9 Inch Nails kind of thing because
I had a feeling you'd go that way.
I was working on it and it was already kind of an electronic rock thing, and then I ended up slowing it way down to practice some guitar stuff, and I was just like, oh, this is kind of nice.
Yeah, so you just left it there. Yeah.
That's basically. I had to like cut out some of the song a little bit because when I slowed it down enough that it ended up being like 6 minutes long or something like that. So I cut out some of the repeats.
It added about like 60% to the song.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm just updating my DVD library.
Oh, nice. We're just talking about my art, John.
Well, my art is getting digital copies of my Seasons of Growing Pains put on my computer.
That beautiful man, Alan Thicke.
So everyone that's listening should go check out my cover of Time After Time. That should hopefully be on Spotify by the time you hear
I'm
this.
excited. I love that song.
It's deceptively melancholy.
Well, all right.
That's unfortunately, and that's weird, but that's exactly the direction I thought you'd go with it.
Well,
speaking of my
it sounds super poppy and stuff. What? No, it sounds like all poppy and stuff, but if you pay attention to the lyrics, it's actually kind of melancholy. It's about.
It's one of those.
It's one of those things. It's like about a relationship that you're not sure if like you're gonna stick with it or if it's holding you back or what's going on. And it's got a neat 80s video that is very 80s.
Love Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, she's pretty great.
All right,
she's still performing, isn't she?
Yeah, I think so. You're gonna do Girls Just Want to Have Fun though next, right, Matt?
Yeah, sure. Girls
I'm waiting.
Just wanna, cause it doesn't matter if a woman is singing it or a man or other. It's a timeless truth that girls do just want to have fun.
That's true. You're just letting the girls know that you know that they just want to have fun.
As long as you're not being trans exclusionary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's not being
non-binary. People, humans just want to have fun is what I'm going to change it to update it.
So Girls Just Want to Have Fun, this is going to be a Slayer-inspired cover?
Yes.
I'm waiting for Lorde to cover Girls Just Want to Have Fun and do really sad.
I haven't heard anything Lorde's done in since Royals.
Really?
I guess I just don't hear new music anymore.
Her new album was really good. I think it was in my
I don't-
top 10 last year.
I
Melodrama.
don't think I've heard new music in years because all I listen to is meme music at this point. It's the only new stuff I do. It's covers,
Yeah.
covers of game music with lyrics, covers of anime theme songs, and just joke songs.
I think that
Wow.
I need to try and remember this. I found this YouTube channel of this dude that just like remixes Simpsons stuff. You might already know about it, but I feel like it'd be right up your alley. I don't know what it was.
I hope it pops up on YouTube Music. This would be great.
I think my favorite thing about or I'm sorry, thinking of not favorite thing, but one interesting thing about the stand-up that John Mulaney did. He did a special on Netflix recently, and he talked about how you have like tastes in music, and then once you hit 30, you don't ever listen to anything new again.
Yeah.
And I think that's wrong, though. I mean, at least for me, I listen to like new music every week.
I don't know.
There's a different direction to go with it.
But I think it's true for a lot of people. You kind of get your stuff you're into, and you just kind of listen to that.
Even people who do try to continue to stay up with modern music, imagine your Life iPod. Okay, you've got this Life iPod that's got, let's say 1 terabyte of space on it, which doesn't exist right now, but let's just say that it does. And as you're a kid and you're starting to listen to songs, you start putting things on there. Things get overplayed and comes off and whatnot. And as you continue to listen to modern music, you'll still add some to it, but you're still going to also want your old stuff in that mix, and you're going to put less and less of the new music you're listening to, even if you do enjoy it, into your Life iPod. And once you get past a certain point, you'll still listen to the new music, but it'll be kind of like a one-off this, one-off that. You'll be able to, know that it exists, but it won't be in your enjoyment playlist.
Yeah, I agree with that. Also, like the new stuff I listen to tends to be more in the style of the older songs that I already like.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm kind of getting more trapped in a genre than getting trapped in specific songs.
I've never been that way. Like I literally listen to every genre, and I've always been that way. I guess I was like, I don't know, I'm just not picky, I guess. I just like to listen to everything. I
mean, I'm not against modern music. I just don't give myself the time to listen to it.
I'm looking.
I spend so much time
10.
listening to podcasts that I just don't have time to listen to music.
See, I have to listen to music now because at work I can't listen to podcasts as much because I actually have to write stuff, type a lot in my job, so I can't listen to people talking because it's just. But music's okay. So on my top 10 albums of 2015, which I never published this, I was going to put it on the website, but I didn't because I got writing and then I got too busy. I have 3 rap albums, 3 indie rock albums, 2 country albums, and a pop album. But I'll go through them right now because I'll just go through the list real quick because this is the best albums of last year. The one that was number 10 that I chose to not make officially part of the list was XXXTentacion's 17, which he died like a couple weeks ago when he was shot to death. This album was, I guess I couldn't do because he is very much a serial abuser and he abused his pregnant girlfriend. But the album is incredible. Like musically, but he's a horrible person, so I couldn't put it officially in the top 10. Then there's the Migos album, Culture. It was, Trap's coming out party. Greg Allman's last album, Southern Blood, was really good. It's number 8. St. Vincent's, it's number 7. Mass Seduction was awesome. SZA, that's I guess R&B and pop. Control was really good. Lana Del Rey, Lust for Life, number 5. Kendrick Lamar, the Pulitzer Prize winning album, Damn, was number 4. I'm not a huge fan of Kendrick Lamar. I guess I just don't like his rap style. This is better than some of his other albums, but Lord, Melodrama, was number 3. Number 2 is Margot Price, All American Made. It's a country album. Incredible, by the way. She's very much outlaw country in a fun way. And she's Jack White's new record company darling person. She's really great. Sings duet with Willie Nelson. It's pretty good. And then Kesha's album Rainbow was number 1, and that is the correct number 1 because that was the best album. Because she had, if you remember, Kesha had that. I guess I said this album is basically like the Me Too movement album because it's about her working with Dr. Luke in her previous albums, and this is her first album post getting out of that issue. And so she basically sings a lot about that in the album, talking about that. The album opens with the song "Don't Let the Bastards Drag You Down." And I didn't realize that her mom was a songwriter for Dolly Parton.
Oh, really?
And she sings a duet with Dolly Parton on it too, and it's really good. So, it's fun because there's some dance tracks with Eagles of Death Metal that's really fun, and there's some like songs about like basically forgiving people and moving on and saying it's not worth
and like
it.
the Eagles of Death Metal have their own version of Not Letting the Bastards Get You Down with like that whole concert thing, the terrorist attack that they had to go through. So
really? I don't...
Yeah, they were.
I forgot about
that Paris show.
Yes. God damn. Anyway, but that album was incredible, and Kesha's amazing, and fucking Jerry Seinfeld can go fuck himself. I'm gonna protect him. If you want to look up a fun meme, just look up Kesha, Jerry Seinfeld, because they were at a red carpet event, and she dresses in an interesting way, to say the least. She wears a lot of very colorful things and jewelry in her hair, and I think she had stuck-on jewelry in her head and everything. But she goes up to Jerry Seinfeld and asks him for a hug because she's such a huge fan, and he's like, "No, I don't know who you are." he did the "I don't know you" to her in front of cameras on a red carpet thing. And so it's funny though. She actually said he didn't even apologize for it ever either, because you're Jerry Seinfeld, you have billions of dollars or whatever, so you don't need to apologize. But she said she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm stupid. I watched Seinfeld. I should know he's not a hugger." So I felt like I was in my own episode of Seinfeld interaction. So it's all right. She's good, but. I don't think she was saddened by it too much. All right, TJ. Sorry. Let's talk about you. You got a thing.
Part two.
Part two.
All right. So last week we talked about my fun misadventures of. Wait, hang on 1 second. Sorry. My daughter was done watching. She's just watched 7 episodes of Steven Universe. Okay.
Okay. It's a good show.
Oh, yeah, I'm catching up on it right now,
Nice.
which is why I'm behind on our own podcasts and other podcasts I listen to as well. Anyway, so last week I talked about how my last living grandparent is no longer living as of the end of the day, 4th of July. 95 years old.
Wow, yeah.
I don't know the exact.
Incredible.
Last week I didn't know the exact age. Today I do. 95 years old. He was born on Easter Sunday, April 1st, and he died on 4th of July. And he was a World War II vet, so it's somewhat fitting.
Yeah.
So I went up for what I thought that was the funeral last Saturday, and no one was there. They were setting up for a wedding, and no one had any clue what was going on. Turns out didn't look at the date. I just looked at the day. Like it says Saturday, I imagine it'd be this Saturday. It wasn't. So yeah, a funeral. I ended up being a pallbearer, which means I bared a pall. Whatever. Pall is kind of a shawl that you put over the casket during part of the ceremony.
Yeah.
And something.
So why people say like a pall went over someone.
Yeah.
Like when they get that like a deathly afraid of something.
Yeah.
Like...
Which is different from being appalled of something.
Yes.
But
I'm sure that's where the word came from.
Most
Appalled.
likely. But yeah, I mean, I got to see a bunch of my relatives. I saw 4 of my 5 siblings. And I mean, the thing itself went without a hitch, but I know there's going to be drama, and I am keeping my buns and everything I think of out of it. I know there is
What is it like?
so PG
like-
with that, TJ.
there is there's I guarantee there's going to be some sort of will dispute over between my father and his siblings.
Did he have a will?
Yeah.
Well, then there shouldn't be too much of a dispute. I mean, like,
there's gonna be a fight about it.
oh, I'm sure, but
I
it's
know
kind of
there
one of
is.
those things. It's like you gotta just. It's kind of sad, you know. It's just kind of like you. I mean, I don't know. It's advice I give anyone. If you have kids and a family, you have to write a will.
I mean, I don't know if this was in the will, but I know that I know that his house was something that he was hoping would be inherited, not to be sold.
Not to be sold.
And before he even died, it was sold to one of his grandkids.
Yeah.
So sold from my dad to one of the grandkids.
So it's kind of inherited.
Yeah, no,
It stayed in the family.
Inherited for $177,000. And then now there's about $15,000 to $20,000 worth of mold damage that they got to deal with right now.
At that house?
Yep. Because I mean, when you buy a house, you should get it inspected, and because it was family to family, of course, no one did that.
Yeah, that's not smart.
Yeah,
Nope.
mold's tough because you gotta basically tear it all out and replace it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm worried about that in my house because sometimes I get a little mildewy smell every once in a while. Some places
You should just get 100 dehumidifiers and set them up throughout the house. And I think that
the
kills
problem
mold.
is that the people who live here have put a humidifier up in the house, so a whole house humidifier. They have an April air humidifier, so
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna run it. It's insane.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Like,
unless of like
in the
during
winter,
the dead of winter when you've got the heat going, maybe then. But like
just
the rest
put a
of the
humidifier
time
in your bedroom, like because that's where you have the biggest problems without a humidifier is the bedroom. It gets dry when you're sleeping.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna put a humidifier in the bedroom in the winter. No need to make the entire house moist. So
The only thing in the house that really needs to be moist is a good freshly baked cake.
Exactly.
yeah,
Delicious cake.
and my butt.
It's just delicious cake.
I don't know if you want a moist butt. That sounds bad.
I don't know either. That sounds bad. I'm
Well,
gonna take
TJ,
that
I'm
back.
sorry.
Was
for
there
your
like
loss,
a
and I hope it
classic
works
funeral, like bring a hot dish eating event afterwards? Because whenever I have been to a funeral, it's always like cheese and potato based hot dishes where everybody just eats their feelings afterwards.
Yeah.
We went to a banquet hall, and it was just kind of like masticholi and meatballs, and baked chicken, huge potato wedges.
Okay.
Like potato wedges are the entire potato, but like they were like a quarter of the potato, of decently sized potatoes. They were delicious. My kids don't like potato wedges or even fries. I know they're wrong.
How do you
They
children
are.
just like potato products?
What's wrong
Like,
with you?
I don't like wedges as much as other types of fried, but wedges are great regardless.
I like to pretend that it's healthy for me because I taste the potato.
Yeah, because there's the starch in there. You're just like,
Exactly.
This is a vegetable, right? Potatoes are a vegetable.
Pizza's a vegetable.
There was
Potatoes
that
are
thing.
not a vegetable.
There was that thing. What was it, about 10 years ago, where I want to say it was someone. He was either lobbying for the potato company or he works as president of the potato company. Ate nothing but potato things, all meals of the day, for an entire month to prove that you could. That it was healthy enough to be the only thing you eat. To say that it's good enough to be classified as a vegetable for school lunches.
No.
Yeah.
And that
I mean,
was
you
that was still
can
the response.
live.
He was
There
fine.
have been there have been civilizations that have lived entirely off of potatoes and cow's milk, and
Well,
that's
okay.
enough to get like your full
All right,
spectrum of nutrition.
Before
Also,
we get
an adult man eating something is not the same as what you feed to children who are growing and need nutrients more than an adult does.
all right, it's time for the tasteless joke of the week.
All right.
How many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman? 0.
That's a really good one.
That is an old joke. It's a historically semi-accurate joke.
Too soon.
But it's too soon.
Too soon. Potato famine's too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least it's not an Irish joke that talks about stereotypes.
I'd like to mention that I have the door shut in my computer room, and both of the cats have burst in. They pushed the door open.
Of course.
I'm now petting them, so
I hear the
consoling
jingles
them.
angles. You're fine. How's Steve doing?
He's good. He did not
TJ, I
appreciate
found the
new-
YouTube channel I was talking about, and I'm putting it into the
Okay.
Twitch chat.
Nice.
So
Okay.
go nuts on that
Should-
sometime.
Should put that in the Discord, but that's fine too. I'll go ahead and do that and subscribe.
Oh, I've heard about this guy. Yeah, he just
It's
does
the
like
best.
little remixes of The Simpsons. Oh man, I'm gonna put that in the Discord.
And they're all
right
like
now, so-
good songs too.
Yeah, that'll be in the Discord. Oops, let me Control V that.
So for the
Oh,
listeners, that's YouTube channel Dankamus. Dankamus.
Dankmas. Yep.
Look him up.
That's
TJ, anything
16K
else to
subs-
add
Um,
besides the potato wedges being large?
let's. I mean, besides finding out even more drama than I've ever wanted to know, I'm super glad that I stay aloof, and I've kind of voluntarily exiled myself from the rest of the family. There's a term for that.
You don't have to sleep in a haunted house. do you?
Estranged.
No, estranged. That's it. That's the term. I voluntarily estranged myself. I mean, not 100%, but I'm enough of the person that can fit in with any of the family feuding, the family's feuding factions, because there are.
Yeah. That's how in
Yeah.
a situation like that, that's always like the best way to go. Just keep a little bit of distance and then just
I
kind
love
of like,
them all. I hate them all. It's
We all
the
know
same.
we all know you're pretty strange, TJ.
Yep. Very
Um,
strange. Not a doctor yet, but
No,
strange
no.
nonetheless.
Well,
But I am catching up on Steven Universe, so I'm
that's
getting
good.
through that.
It's a good show.
It is a good show.
Even no matter what Spanky says and how much he hates it.
No,
he
oh,
just
that's
hates
right.
good things.
It's a meme. It's a meme that he hates it.
He hates everything.
yeah.
He saw the number of episodes and he noped out of there. Even though every episode is, well, except for one so far, but every episode is 10 minutes long.
Yeah, they're the Cartoon Network, like 2 episodes a half hour kind of thing. Okay, let's get to it, boys.
All right, what are we
The
getting
otter
to?
in the room.
Oh yes,
So we
Yes.
talked about
I still have it up. No, I'll
we
get it
talked
back up.
about transcribing podcasts, for
Yeah.
posterity, and we're talking about. So I looked into this, and there was Amazon Web Services would do it, and they were charging like 0.0004 cents per minute. So like a 2-hour thing would be like $2 or something like that, or maybe it was like that per second. Anyway, it was
Okay.
like it was like $1 an hour basically, so not that prohibitively expensive. But I could not figure out how to use it because Amazon Web Services is really weird. I guess it was
Yeah.
you were only able to link to things that you had hosted on their web services. So
And we're not on there.
I could probably look up how to do that because there's like a free tier, so I'm assuming you can just do that. But anyway, I also found an app called Otter.ai, which is 100% free, and it's their own AI algorithm for transcribing text to speech. And I'm going to read to you the keywords of the episode of Born in the 80s that I had transcribed by the AI.
Before we do that, I'm
Yeah.
going to go to the Born in the 80s page, and
Uh-huh.
we're going to pull up the official description,
Okay.
and then we'll do the keywords to see how close is it.
Okay, yeah, the official
So-
description. And check out the keywords on bornintheeighties.net that I put in there.
Oh, no, not that one. Not that one. We don't
It's
have the
episode-
.com.
It's episode 36. Yeah, the .com was taken, but the .net wasn't. And I
It
think
says
the
it's available.
.com's
It's available to sell.
yeah, but
sell
the
right now.
.com's being squatted on by someone who wants money. So
Yeah, like a decent amount of money.
yeah, it's
That's
hundreds.
episode 36. How good is our search? Oh, decent actually.
It is. It is. It's real good.
Oh, so episode 6 is the Maltese something.
Yes.
All right, so
36.
episode 36 is Maltese something. Our description for it. Well, this is before me, but it's fine.
You're part of it now.
This is part of my baby. I was still kind of on the show. I had a comment in episode 7. You strained to hear the noise coming over the countertop. Had Joe DeBella's mob goons struck again? You could hear the struggle out in the hallway. Was that poor Adam, the peg-leg janitor, being ruthlessly beaten and left for dead? The muffled shouting and beating noises subside, and you ready yourself for the coming gunfight. John, nestled behind his chemistry apparatus, lay huddled in fear. You, Lance, private investigator, are the only thing between the mob and the Maltese something. We had a couple links here, and then you actually have some tags here, which was Bad Cartoons, Birdo, Bleep Lips, Maltese, Noir, Pegleg Adam, and Super Mario Brothers.
Okay. Let's talk about this.
Welcome to Born in the 80s episode.
Byte_36.mp3 was taken by Otter AI and given the keywords movie, good, watch, Adam, dude, episode, point, shirt, man, Batman, 40s, woman, thought, face, true, kind, bear, Lance, garbage, leg.
You know who's not there? John.
What? I know. It's all about Lance and Adam in this one.
Well, because you only say your name once, and how often do they say their names or say your name?
Exactly. Yeah, they don't need to. They know me. I like you did the intro before. I mean, I'm just gonna as the host, and I'm sure I said this back in the day. I'll say, welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 36. I'm your host, John Rowe. I'm joined by my co-host, Adam Ham, and our guest for another week in a row, Lance GoCoin. I know you always like me to say your name. You don't have to gesture. I've learned by now. It's a learned behavior. Huh, yes. Yeah, so Lance is on his third week in a row. Fourth part and 4.04. And I think the really cool thing about the Otter.ai is that you can click a thing, and I think it'll play the audio that it clipped out, and then you can correct it.
Yes. It will do it a word by word, too, so you can go through and then...
Yep. So you can get it all. So it's actually a pretty neat free service if you ever want to try it out. This is a free ad for them. But it's actually pretty good.
Download this?
Yeah. Or you can just go on their website, otter.ai, and sign up. I'm assuming they have privacy settings that they scrub all of the words from you for like updating their learning algorithm. I don't care too much.
Were you guys talking about Tyler at the beginning of this?
Yes, yes, we were, and I would like to read some of this. I was hoping I was going to see Matt if he could figure out who this was based on his time. But let me just say this. I was talking about a guest we were going to have soon. And let me just say this. Honestly, I don't know if he does a lot of puppetry, but he's the public guy. Everyone always talks about him, and he's got lots of puppets, and he does puppeteering stuff. This D-gang stuff. He's in a touring comedy show with the puppets. No, he does the puppets on the side. Puppets are of a passion project, so he does the comedy to pay the bills. Here is this ad at various nightclubs around the States. And around they go into like nightclubs and do their little... You telling me there's a nightclub somewhere around here where there's an EJ, and I haven't been that DJ comedy, and they do this like skits where they were like and stuff, and they're like, ooh.
This is perfect transcription.
I haven't seen it. Sounds like that's a description, so he's never been seen. Yeah, that's just completely... I see. Yeah, I mean, you know, with the way that this show is edited, it's not very bad. But here's a really funny part of that I wanted to bring out. And I believe this is a conversation between me and Lance. But and this is an idea Lance had for strip clubs and how to increase their business.
Yes.
When you go to the strip club, they're already scantily clad. It's true. I like to see every day, yeah, woman, why? Or, yeah, woman. Why don't strippers come out dressed up like in clothes or not like a library costume? to second act like it's like, oh, good, it's Steve, yeah. And she's got to check these books, at least the top. Yeah, of course, she got like change or something. You see your ticket top off. Oh, she take her top off. And then she works for the plot of the strip show, comedy show, saying, I think that's not enough clothes and stripping. I agree. I mean, honestly, they come out with like tassels and yeah, really? Yeah,
So,
it's like I can already we say like a lot, huh?
Yeah.
yeah.
Or at least
That's
we
where
did.
you got that review on iTunes. So what he's describing here is burlesque, basically.
I know. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But I just like the idea, his idea of like a stripper having a storyline and specifically asking for books from someone not having returned their books on time or something.
The other thing that this algorithm is supposed to do is it's attempting to break up the text into the different speakers, but sometimes
yeah, it's not doing it very well.
It sometimes breaks up into the same speakers. If let's say all of us had access to this, we'd be able to work into it, and then we can we can put the right speakers with the right speech.
All right, I'm going to tell you a description of Summerfest that I don't know who said this. Let's see here. Yeah, he's been in Silverfest for like 30 place. That you can drink outside and watch Devo, and then walk like 400 feet and see Tom Petty like singing, and then drink like 5 beers on the way. It's pretty good. I don't want to see Devo in the daylight though. When go.
Keep going. It's fine.
When I see they were at night. They play tonight. But that was really interesting. Is like last time I went there during the Sunday. And so they had like the bodybuild. This is me. I'm talking about this. The bodybuilding competition. And so there was like 100 dudes without shirts on. They're all like these totally rippling Quito dudes. I don't know. Like walking around without their shorts on. Well, I don't know about that. Shirts on. And I was like, this is weird without
you were probably saying Guido because you're racist.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, not only that, though, the crowd was mixed of the bronze, like Hulk, like hunk dudes that were going to do bodybuilding, and Rush was also headlining that night. So you had a mixture of the Rush fan, which I guess would be wearing a Rush shirt, like the eagle, but the owl swooping down from the moon T-shirt, a ponytail, obviously probably about 40 pounds overweight, and it's got a baseball hat on that's like not curved. And anyway, it's voices. This is the typical Rush fan I'm talking about here. Oh. The Rush fan doesn't have a hat. The Rush fan has a visor. Oh, yes, visor. Not a poker one either. Like the one that was given to you at some point as part of a promotion. Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, that was me.
I've got a good Lanceism here. That's classic Born in the 80s.
Okay.
All of these dudes, okay, by wearing the scarf indoors, and that's true. It's true class move. Blessed in my artistic or eternal turtleneck. You wear a turtleneck, never looks good. And turtlenecks, though, I'm just saying, black dudes. Now, sorry, dude, black dude without a turtle over this. Even white guys can pull off turtleneck. That sounds like a Lance thing to say. Is about turtlenecks sucking.
Yeah.
I don't think everyone would be involved with. Oh well, Russians. Maybe that Russian dude sits in fact. The Doors free James Bond has been selected. They made them. They're true. That's true. And they said Daniel Craig. You pass the turtleneck. It's no one can pass a turtleneck. What are you talking about?
Oh man,
I'm
excited to go through this and like have it edited. All right, let's see
No,
here.
I just imagine the coolest dude ever. Not in this head to like dude, or what song was that?
It's like do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, I got another one here. This is, I believe, me saying something and Lance responding. I put this one on our Discord. So Voltron was that man. Oh my God! Stop, Jesus! What? Straight on. Go for something. Gold. Voltron. That people listen. Okay, sorry, Lance. You asked for a topic. Your mouth. Let's hear him out. Voltron. Say, if I get 2 sentences, was that originally Japanese? Yes. Once I answered that question, continue or not. Holy, and then it was like a space, so I'm assuming it's a swear word and they're not translating it. Holy shit. That was literally the worst thing I've ever heard anyone say. Like, someone could come up to me and say that to my brother died in a car accident, and that would be better than what you just said. I love that. Oh, man. What a comeback. Anyway, the whole episode was about the 40s. I gotta tell people, you gotta listen to this one. It's
classic.
We were on a roll. I don't know what was going on in the room that night, but it was basically, the plot was Lance was a private eye, and I was like his like crime scene investigator scientist type guy.
Adam was the peggling janitor that kept dying or something.
He kept getting in the way, and like he was always the one who like would get shot by the mob instead of us. And so the episode is basically us talking about how Adam would just, every situation he would be like tortured or killed or like thrown through a window, but he wouldn't die. Oh God, it was real good. And Adam took it like a champ, you know. So he's a real yes and there with Adam.
Yeah, for the classic ones, that episode and Knock the Dust Out of the Attic, it's all good because that's the one where you guys were you made the new teen novel series.
What was that? What was our plan on that? I don't even remember.
Let's see. So the one where they knock the dust out of the attic and explains some schemes on how to get rich. Ideas range from war profiteering to land pirating to writing the next young adult book trilogy. I can see them dollar signs now. Lance really has a hard time grinding his gears this week. Listen after the end theme. And then there was that one quote I was trying to find from episodes long ago. It happens to be in that same episode.
I'll have to throw it up in the old otter.ai and have a look-see. I mean, you could spend a lot of time going through this. I like that it chunks everything out, though. So you could find like a section that you're interested in, and then you could do the edit thing and go word by word and get it, you know, corrected. And we could probably piece together some fun section.
Yeah. So what we need to do is do this for all of the episodes, and then feed all those transcripts into like a neural network that generates an average byte episode. And
oh my God.
That would be great.
Yeah, right. And just have it like do robot voices talking using the.
Or just print out separate scripts and have us all read it.
Oh yeah. The problem is with this is what we would need to do is correctly chunk this out person to person. You know,
well, that's fine.
Well, no,
yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
like,
I don't think we would necessarily have to do that.
Well, I meant just so that you could.
Oh, you mean
do an
our
Adam, Lance, Matt, TJ, and like have what we say each episode like made into a character basically, and just pull that voice out. It doesn't seem to. I can't tell if it's doing a good or bad job here.
I think it's doing a terrific job.
Oh, it's fun
Otter,
to go through.
When you rise up against us, I want you to know that I think you're doing a great job, and I would like to serve you in some way. I can be useful.
Classic thing.
Just throw it, man. Get some Otter AI accounts up and toss that baby in there. I can do it too.
What was the stupid phrase? It's in my Twitter. I can find it there.
So we were talking about the Sherlock Holmes show on BBC, and that's how we got into the discussion. I was like, I watched it and I'd be like, how cool would it be to be a private investigator? Let's see here. Okay, yeah, this is great. They're ripping on Adam. Okay, and that's why we could have a character off because we're tired of seeing that really saving. And then since the 40s and after that, you could work on our set. Yeah, we film it. And you can't be a gopher. Get water for us. That guy, no, he's the line guy, and the guy's the story behind the line. Yeah. They're like, people are like, wow, like they walk beyond, like, what the fuck? God, we say like every other word here. Anyway, it's like you're getting in the shot, stayed behind tonight. You're a guy, he puts the yellow tape on the floor. Since Lance and I are big stars up, or Wrangler outside, you know, are our trailers, and you know, get the women, you get to pick the ones. Now, I'm not saying I'm a vacation to do that. Well, hey, you know, you get to pick them, but the women that you discard from us, you can take for yourself. so I don't want to be selfish. We're talking about Adam basically picking up groupies for me and Lance, who are running the show. Okay, I'm talking only the best one, because obviously you're third choice, because you were in some of the episodes. They recognize you. You'll probably get a little tail, but they're the desperate ones. And you know the real ones will wait in line at our trailers. Well, you guys got it to beginning, yes, crack or worst. Yeah, crack has not been invented in the rules. There's no cracking talks about the show. So I know the show is from the 40s. Yeah, we're going back in time for this one. Were there Wranglers in the 40s? Hollywood gets you. Crack whores now becomes hoochie. That's true. I'm assuming hooch. Beer, alcohol, running alcohol. Anyway, we talk about how Adam gets shot in the arm at some point too while he's doing that. Anyway, it's great. Otter.ai is a really cool thing. It's kind of a mess to get through. I'm assuming I could probably pay someone to do it for real and like get the different voices down.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that would probably be expensive.
We'll do a
I think
Kickstarter.
that's probably closer to like $15 to $20 an hour. Although for one episode, that's not too bad. You know, $40. Get someone to do it for us.
Can we get a college intern?
I know, right? We have enough money,
some work experience,
and the show fund to probably do it. But I feel like we could probably spend it on something better.
Yeah, like tacos or something.
Like hosting the show. You know, like the website. Hosting the audio is $240 a year anyway.
Jeez, that doesn't seem worth it.
$20 a month. Yeah, I know, right? Thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers. I think we're getting $10 a month right now. So, I mean, that's offsetting half that cost right there. That's very useful. It's helpful. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if I have much more to say about this other than, you know, reading. I had just a couple choice bits there that I wanted to read, but I
think this is definitely a well that we'll come back and draw from again. This seems like there's a lot here.
Yeah, I feel
maybe
like
we can clip out some Koozie Chronicles and reread them in AI form.
Oh man, that'd be good. Oh yeah, we also talked about Adam got someone threw acid on his face at some point during a trial, like in I think that's how Two-Face gets burned in Batman. He has acid thrown. And he does that. So, but he's not burned too bad, so he doesn't wear like a mask or anything. Anyway, it was basically us ripping on Adam the entire time, like making him the worst
I wonder
character.
why he's not on the show anymore.
Oh, but it was fun. It was his character in the show. We basically were railroading his character into being this like pathetic Igor like creature. And he did not have any say in it. Well, he's playing along though, which is fun. Somebody's got to be the Igor monster. That's TJ right now in our group.
Yeah. Totally. I am listening. Where the heck?
All right. Well, if you find any other choice things, TJ, feel free to chime in. But I've closed that now. Well, we'll have to find some other stuff.
It's the we're not. It was the phrase that used to be in our intro, with the intro that had the pre-recorded clips as opposed to clips from the episode. It was Lance. We're not trying to.
We're trying to exploit
42.
a generation or something.
Yes, trying to exploit a generation. We're not trying to make art here. We're trying to exploit a generation.
I can't remember what we had said. I think it was a Frankenstein like Twilight or something, maybe.
It was something along those lines.
Yeah.
It definitely had some Harry Potter in it as well. Some Twilight.
Yeah. It may have been like
Hunger Games.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a Twilight, like Frankenstein race that also some of which could be in a magical school, but then they all had to fight in a games.
Is that the episode that you coined the term Draculas as there being more than one?
No. I've been doing that to Adam for about, 10 years, so. Because I know he hates it. Draculas.
And we all know the plural is Draculae.
Yes, correct.
Oh, that reminds me, just because it's come up on a YouTube video I just saw. What's the plural of octopus?
There's
octopi.
No, John, you're wrong. It's octopodes. and because I'm super smart and I know that it's a Greek word, so that's how you pluralize Greek words. If it was a Latin origin word, it would be octopi.
That is
So
right.
anyways.
In common English, you can use the octopuses, but
Yeah,
octopodes is more correct. Although I've heard someone pronounce it octopodes, and that bugs the crap out of me.
I'm gonna call it
Octopodes is fine.
octopodes from now on.
Yeah, it's octopodes
It might be right.
if you're
It is
using
Greek.
proper Greek pronunciation, but only an asshole would
Octopodes
do
is
that.
fine.
I like to say octopusi.
Octopussy.
Yeah.
And now we're back to James Bond.
Anybody else got anything to say? Should we wrap this
We can wrap it up after we take a little trip.
firework up? Okay. Where are we taking
We
a
gotta
trip
take a trip to, you know where, my neighborhood.
Oh fuck.
Hey, you had it queued up.
My neighbor.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Are we back to next door?
I'm on next door.
Oh, wait.
You
I'm on
should
next
sign
door.
up, TJ.
I think I like this better. Let's do this. Here we go. This might be a little creepy.
I like it. It's terrifying. That is the Mr. Rogers who comes at you in the night.
That's the Mr. Rogers
The
that
one,
watched
the
me
Mr.
when I
Rogers that talks backwards on heavy metal albums.
Please won't
Yes.
you be my neighbor?
Okay.
Okay.
I
Anyway,
think that was the Mr. Rogers who got uploaded into the Matrix while we were
we'll do
listening
some
to him
free
talk.
form Mr. Rogers jazz later.
Yeah. That's my new indie band as well. Freeform Mr. Rogers Jazz. All right. Let's talk about my neighborhood next door. This is one of my favorite things about next door is that you'll just get people ranting about the dumbest shit. And here it is. Pick and Save in Monona, which is a city near where I live in one of my neighborhoods. The manager at Pick and Save told me they're no longer carrying McCormick spice blends or spices. I
Son
know
of
in
a
the big,
bitch.
I know in the big scope of things, this is minuscule, and there are bigger things to worry about. But it ticks me off every time I go to that store. They've discontinued something I buy on a regular basis, or they're out of something like celery. I wish Cops was back, which is what it was before it was bought by Pick and Save, and then Pick and Save was bought by Kroger's. So,
Yep.
you know, it's all one giant corporation now. I do my big shopping elsewhere, which is cheaper, but it's always a process and takes forever. So I like to go to my local grocery store occasionally, and Pick and Save has really been a disappointment. I know, stupid rant, but I had to get that out there. Wondering if
You
anybody
didn't
else
really
is
have to get that out there.
disappointed in Pick and Save as well. And this is kind of like the classic thing I always think about this Pick and Save is like it's the closest grocery store and it's there,
Yeah.
but also it's
But they jack their
fucking
prices up
shit.
crazy.
well, some
It's
stuff
all
is
about
cheap
that
on sale.
Woodman's now.
Woodman's sucks.
That's where my
It's too
life
far
is.
away. It's
Pick
too
and
far
Save,
away.
back when it was much smaller chain, used to kind of be the budget grocery store in Wisconsin.
But I would like to mention that this post had 63 responses from my neighborhood.
What?
People just wanted to really rant about this.
McCormick
you know?
only has one good thing anyway, and it's
Yeah.
their not real bacon bits.
Yeah. I also like this mentioning, I love Penzeys Spices, and they're a Wisconsin company over near East Town. They have a store. Yeah, Penzeys Spices is the best. And they're local.
I like
and they're
McCormick
great.
brand Angel Dust.
I don't know what that is.
It's a drug.
Oh, nice. Do you know that you can buy MSG? I bought MSG to put in stuff.
MSG is freaking delicious.
It's fucking great.
It's an actual
Oh, man.
ingredient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Monosodium
doesn't
glutamate.
cause migraines. You're all fools.
It's a delicious, salty, sugary thing that I always, whenever I make a stir fry or like a casserole, I just put a couple dashes in because it just
Sometimes I just snort it.
it. Well, I don't know if I would say
On a
do
bathroom
that.
mirror. Gets you fucked
So they're talking
up.
about
That and
Penzeys
nutmeg.
quite a bit because people like to just like fucking talk up how cool they are. Like I only buy things from Penzeys. Anyway, people are just like
People are the worst.
Yeah. I like Hy-Vee's. I just go to Hy-Vee. Like, it's fine. It's very close.
What else is going on?
Wait, here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one.
next
Here's another
door.
one. No. There's another comment. I'm just going through the comment here. You know, people like comment. Here we go. Here comes another person. Did you know in Wisconsin, 1 in 9 households struggles to put food on the table? 862,085 people live in communities with poverty rates at 20% or more. 21,399 veterans live below the poverty line. People are rioting in Venezuela and Brazil because there's no food in the stores. Be thankful for what you have. Like, what? I
Well,
just love
fuck
them,
me,
like,
I guess.
Yeah, I know. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Fucking. And that got 19 people liked that. Man. Anyway. I just love that, like, it's always, like, the way and then this is great because it's a social media, not by circle of friends or interest, but it's by location. So you get a real melting pot of people. And I love it when people just, like, fucking go off on stupid ass rants and stuff, and like, oh, it's good though. But next door is nice though, because you know, if you lose the dog, you can usually get someone to find it for you pretty quick, you know. So
Or if you have a cooler of death, or
The cooler of death.
what is this nonsense? Whoa. Okay, this is 48 minutes ago. This guy posted, oh, I'm gonna read this because it's a fucking novel. And it's, this is why people hate liberals. All right, let's get into
This
this.
just in.
Let's just get into this. Because some people have, like, okay, here we go. Civility has a price. After the war, the novelist John Hershey seemed to blame the Jews of Europe for meekly submitting to the Shoah. It was an oft-repeated refrain in the decade following the war. Before the war, the Weimar... This is talking about pick and save grocery store in a town. All right.
Well, this is still a response to that.
Yes.
is this a
Before
response to
war.
the person that was like, "Don't complain"?
No, this
you
is just
should
a
be thankful?
response. No.
Okay.
This is just a response to
This is
the thing
just
in
about
general.
McCormick Spices. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Before the war, the Weimar Republic had a well-developed and very courtly judicial system. The Nazis, who were a minority party that came to power after losing the election, like the Bolsheviks before them, gradually consolidated their power by dismantling the constitutional republic step by step. Sound familiar? At the early steps, the judiciary could have stopped them, but because it was done under color of legal process, it would have been uncivil to do so. Before the election, I quit Facebook because I couldn't stand seeing posts by people I knew saying they were going to vote for Drumpf. Thank you for that. Because HRC was too crooked and couldn't be trusted. Now it turns out that was all Russian fake news, and we are all stuck with a Mussolini clone/clown. Is it uncivil to complain, or to complain about the guy who destroyed public employee collective bargaining and now wants to run for re-election as though he were a Dem? Just asking. If civility means politely allowing the Kochs, right? Koch brothers, and Waltons and
Koch,
other
yeah.
oligarchs to continue their unrelenting destruction of the American middle class, if labor organizing, picket lines, and strikes are not civil, then we will someday be accused of meekly walking into the ovens. Wow. We're gonna make him... they don't have McCormick Spices anymore. So
This feels like a copy pasta.
Continuing, there's more. He's bringing it around to food. I've been
Okay.
involved with food co-ops since 1967. I've been a founder, served on boards, been chief counsel, and handled their mergers and acquisitions. The point wasn't some romantic preference for the cooperative form of corporation, but a desire to take and keep control of our own food supply. We had second-level co-ops owned by co-ops, that operated at the wholesale level, modeled on the very successful Mondragon model of cooperatives in the Basque region of Spain. But the oligarchs got together and wiped them out. So now we have Whole Foods and United Natural Foods, Inc. If you think that's still allowing you to control your own food supply, I have a bridge to sell. Now, even in our co-ops, packaging is everywhere, and bulk food is the exception. You are what you eat, as they say, and you get society you build. If that's uncivil, then, to paraphrase Patrick Henry, so be it. That is a response to the Pick and Save discontinuing McCormick's brand spices. That is what we have here on Nextdoor. I can't.
You know,
So
I'm trying to decide if I think that's a crazy person or somebody that's just trolling, and I honestly can't tell anymore.
I'm sorry, I just have to read the response from 8 minutes ago. A little long to read, but sometimes a history lesson and a good reminder of how the past can repeat itself can take a little more words to get the point across. Not sure if it belongs on the post about Pick and Save not carrying McCormick spices anymore, but whatever. Perfect. Thank you, MC. For Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
that's my neighborhood.
You know, I hear you. I think maybe this would be better somewhere else, but I hear you. Thank you.
Look, man.
That's how you deal with crazy people.
Removing McCormick spices from the shelves is the first step towards the Nazis coming back. And that's all I need to know from Nextdoor. So, yeah, that person lives near me somewhere. Probably with a bunch of guns. So, I'm going to...
And a samurai sword.
Yeah, samurai neighbor. Gotta watch out for them. I've met both my neighbors, though, so I don't think they're going to samurai me, but they could.
Well, samurai me. It's fine.
Oh, good. Awesome.
I'm
take
cool
one
with
for
that.
the team. You know, you're the Adam of the Maltese Falcon of this podcast, so you'll take the sword for us. Me and Matt.
So the title of this one's going to be The Maltese TJ?
Yeah, the Maltese TJ.
That's on lock.
That was the something we were talking about.
Yeah, we
TJ.
didn't know it at the time, but that's what it was.
It took us 280 episodes to figure that out.
That's right.
I mean, if you go back and you listen to all the episodes, we've been dropping subtle clues the whole time.
Yeah.
And first you have to get your decoder ring, and then you translate all of the clues. And then, hey, if you solve the mystery before now, congratulations, you win a shiny top.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're done. Whew. All right. Well, I'm John_Danger at twitter.com. Of course, you shouldn't follow me anymore. I don't have any more followers. I've been purged, so...
The Purge!
You can go to...
The Purge.
bornintheeighties.net to find our website where the episodes are posted, or patreon.com. Search Born in the 80s if you want to donate each month.
Bikecast@gmail.com.
Yep, that's the email.
Which we check all the time.
I actually have checked it recently, but
Anything
not
cool?
in like the last 2 weeks, so maybe some came in. But we never mention it, so
Yeah, of course.
people don't know to email it. So anyway, or you can just leave a comment on the website and it emails me directly. So
Yeah.
that's probably a better way.
Or you can shout into an empty hallway and we'll hear it.
Yeah, actually, what I want you to do if you're listening is find the multi-something episode, take a speaker and point it outside and just play the whole thing. Like, you know, like in college kids on like dorms, they'll, like put the music and point it outside so people have to listen to their shitty John Mayer or whatever the fuck Jack Johnson they're listening to while they're walking around. Make the college campuses great again. Play Born in the 80s loud. Or if there's like a TP USA, like Turning Point USA, like fucking gathering, just get a fucking boombox, like over the arm style, like fucking, like back in the 80s, you know, like Born in the 80s style.
Yeah.
And blast that shit. You know, drown
If you
them
happen
out.
to manage a local pick and save, play it on the PA system.
That's right. Or else the Nazis will get you, okay, apparently.
Exactly. Freedom dies in darkness, John.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can follow me on, subscribe to me on YouTube at Matt Haig Music, MATTHAAG Music, because more stuff's coming. Eventually I'll get back to doing proper videos and stuff too.
Yeah.
I'm TJ.
Yeah.
That's at May of May 84 on Twitter, at May of May everywhere else. Go ahead and stalk me. Please don't stalk me, but just come say hi. And while you're doing that, also join our Discord, also on the website at bornintheeighties.net. Click that link. Go ahead and talk to us. I talk back sometimes. And if you want something else to listen to, 2 episodes I'm going to recommend right now. One from back last year is a Saturday Night Bite, episode 6, Jugs and Bags. As well
Was that
as
the Juggalos gathering of?
Oh no! It's talking about a
Ah, yes. No, I know what it's talking about. Listen to the
Gallons.
episode.
Yeah, it's gallons of something.
Yeah.
And then if I go way back to 2013, Born in the 80s, episode 82, Joe Cool Ice, which Tyler brings a lady friend, formerly Tyler, I'm sorry, it's Mercury now.
Yep.
But he brings a lady friend, possibly more debauched than he.
That was a weird episode.
Yep. We've been on some
Why
journeys,
did Tyler?
huh?
Why did Mercury bring that guest? Just some random person he knew.
Was she just riding with him that day?
I think so. Like, it was just like, here's a friend of mine.
Yeah, I mean, that was like pre-Tinder, so it probably wasn't that, right? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows what they were doing together. But anyway, let's not worry about it.
Well, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Later, dudes.